Hello students. In this video, I am going to explain chapter 4, Landscape of the Soul from your textbook in English class 11th, Hornbill. This story actually describes the Chinese classical painting and the European figurative painting and the difference between the two. The author of this story, NATHALIE, TROUVEROY, an art expert, explains this difference by anecdotes from China and Flanders. This story starts with the wonderful tale that is told about the painter Wu Daozi, who lived in the 8th century. Wu Daozi lived in the 8th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned by the Tang Emperor Xuanzong to decorate a palace wall. The master had hidden his work behind the screen so only the emperor would see it. When the emperor saw the wonderful scene, he admired that scene for a long while. He admired the wonderful scene discovering forests, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds floating in the immense sky, man on hilly parts, birds in flight. The painter said to the emperor, in this cave, he was talking about his painting of the wall. He said, in this cave, at the foot of the mountain, dwells or lives a spirit. After saying these words, the painter clapped his hands and the entrance to the cave opened. The painter said to the emperor, the inside is splendid or magnificent, beyond anything words can convey. Please let me show your majesty the way. When the painter said these words, he entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him. The emperor stood astonished and he wanted to say something. But before he could utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. Not a trace of the painter's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in this world. Such stories played an important part in China's classical education. The books of Confucius and Zhuangzi are full of such stories, are full of them. They are deeply revealing of the spirit in which art was considered. The writer writes about another famous story about a painter who wouldn't draw the eye of a dragon that he had painted for fear it would fly out of the painting. The writer says to the readers to contrast the story of the eye of the dragon with an old story from her native Flanders that she found most representative of Western painting. And the story goes like this. In 15th century Antwerp, a master blacksmith, Quentin Mitsees, fell in love with the painter's daughter. But he had a problem, actually a very big problem. He knew that the father of the girl would not accept a son-in-law in such a profession. So he sneaked into the painter's studio and painted a fly on his latest panel with such delicate realism. Delicate realism refers to the mysteriously fascinating quality of the art which makes it seem real. The master tried to swat it away before he realized what had happened. Meaning of swat is to hit or to crush. The blacksmith was immediately admitted as an apprentice into his studio. He married his beloved, the girl that he loved, and went on to become one of the most famous painters of his age. Both these stories illustrate what each form of art is trying to achieve: a perfect illusionistic likeness in Europe, the essence of inner life and spirit in Asia. Illusionistic likeness refers to an adjective of the technique of using pictorial methods in order to deceive the eye. The reference is to an illusion created by the semblance of something. So, what happened in this case of the Chinese story? The emperor commissioned a painting and appreciated its outer appearance, but the artist revealed to him the true meaning of his work. The emperor may rule over the territory he has conquered, but only the artist knows the way within. Uh, the word Dao, D-A-O, Dao, let me show the way. Dao is a word that means both the path or the method and the mysterious works of the universe. The painting disappeared as the artist has reached his goal beyond any material appearance. Classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual view as would a Western figurative painting. Figurative painting describes any form of modern art that retains strong references to the real world and particularly to the human figure. The European painter wants you to borrow his eyes and look at a particular landscape as he saw it from a specific angle. But a Chinese painter does not choose a single angle. His landscape is not a real one. One can enter it from any point, then travel in it. The artist creates a path for the viewer which enables the onlooker to travel it up and down and then back again. This is more true in the case of horizontal scroll. The action of slowly opening one section of the painting, then rolling it up to move onto the other, adds a dimension of time which is unknown in any other form of painting. In it, there is always the active participation of the viewers, which is both physical and mental. The Chinese painter allows the viewers to enter his mind. The landscape is an inner spiritual conceptual space. Conceptual space means it refers to relation with the abstract than the factual representation. This is incalculable dimension of the understanding of concepts. This means the viewers share the concept with the artist. The concept of Chinese painting is expressed as shan shui, means mountain water, which used together represent the word landscape. These represent two complementary poles reflecting the Taoist view of the universe. The mountain is Yang, Y-A-N-G, Yang, reaching vertically towards heaven, stable, warm and dry in the sun. The water is Y-I-N, Yin, horizontal and resting on earth, fluid, moist and cool. The interaction of yin, the receptive means having the quality of receiving. The water is yin. receptive, feminine aspect of universal energy, and its counterpart, yang, active and masculine. It's a fundamental notion of Taoism. And what is often overlooked is the third element, the middle void. Void means completely empty space. The middle void where this interaction takes place. This interaction can be compared with the yogic practice pranayam. It is breathe in and breathe out. The suspension of breath is the void where meditation takes place. So the middle void is the empty space is also equally essential. It also has a very significant part in the painting. Without this part, nothing can happen. So this is the importance of the white unpainted space in Chinese landscape. Also, this is the part where man finds a fundamental role. In the space between heaven and earth, he becomes the conduit of communication between both poles of the universe. Conduit means a way or a channel. His presence is essential as he is, in Francois Cheng's wonderful expression, the eye of the landscape. The eye of the landscape. And now let's move to the other part of the chapter. The article that was published in Hindustan Times, 28th August 2005 by Brinda Suri, with the name Getting Inside Outsider Art. French painter Jean Dubuffet first originated the concept of art brut in 1940s. Art brut is a French term that translates as raw art, invented by the French artist Jean Dubuffet to describe art such as naive art, which is made outside the academic tradition of fine art. Naive art is simple, unaffected, and unsophisticated, usually, especially refers to art made by artists who have had no formal training in an art school or academy. Outside art has now become the fastest growing area of interest in contemporary art. This genre is the art of those who have no right to be artists because they have received no formal training. Yet they show talent and artistic insight. During the 1940s, when Dubuffet was initiating his concept, Nek Chand, an untutored genius, was creating paradise. Years ago, the little patch of jungle that he began clearing to make himself a garden sculpted with stone and recycled material is known to the world today as the Rock Garden in Chandigarh. Nek Chand is hailed as India's biggest contributor to outsider art. The 50th issue of Raw Vision, a UK-based magazine pioneer in outsider art publications, featured him and his rock garden sculpture, Women by the Waterfall, on its anniversary issue's cover. Art brut or raw art is actually that art which is in its raw state as regards cultural and artistic influences. Anything and everything from a tin to a sink to a broken down car could be a material for a work of art. Nek Chand said, The biggest reward is walking through the garden and seeing people enjoy my creation. So, this is the end of the story. Kindly watch this video at least twice to have a clear understanding of this chapter. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and share. Also, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, dear students, for watching this video.